Hello and welcome to Black Lagoon's After Movie Talk.
where we
Do it, don't take my bit.
where we
Don't do
slice
it.
and dice. I was gonna say where we chomp and
You son of a
okay.
bitch.
where we slice and dice our way through horror films of old and new.
I'm Brian,
And I'm Nick.
and we're gonna take a bite out of Jaws. Oh, Nick, you scared me.
Just like have a floating arm.
Oh, Jaws is the masterpiece of a movie. This is great. This is Steven Spielberg at just being a creative popcorn movie. It's a theatrical experience. There's a dog going crazy outside right now. My neighbor's dog is losing it. You might think he is Pippet before Pippet goes missing from the beach. Not only does it, like, they know exactly what to show you. The town is beautiful and idyllic. All of the characters we meet are interesting.
And there's a
The-
lot of jovial music too to
The music is
play
very-
on the point of view of not only the inhabitants but the visitors, the tourists that are coming to visit this quaint little town.
They do some very interesting things with the music. My favorite thing about this movie, though, is by the ending you realize they know what not to show you. This isn't like an easy movie where at the very end, the mayor, we see him like eating his own words and just being like, oh, I guess I was wrong, and then the movie ends. It's like, no, it's just the shark has dealt with all of the other plots that were bubbling up from the town are going to happen after the credits. And it's just, they lived. That's what mattered. They survived. They got Jaws. They come back to the shore.
They killed the
Everything's
shark.
fine.
That's it.
Everything else was incidental. I love this movie. I think it's great. I look forward to breaking it down. Nick, what do you got?
This movie is definitely a classic, which again has taken the world by storm, and I definitely understand why it affected a lot of people, including myself, including Brian, including our parents or whoever. Like, I understand why you would be afraid of going out into a large body of water, not knowing what awaits you. This movie is amazing. There are some parts that kind of rub me the wrong way. Some of the music I felt could have been taken out, just like left out. But I understand where they were going, where they were going with it. Like where this is conveying this jovial music is kind of conveying like, oh, we have the upper hand on the shark, like we're doing it, yay, we're setting out on course to defeat the shark. And it's supposed to give the audience this feeling of a false sense of security.
Right.
At the same like I kind of struggle with like, do I like it, do I not like it? I feel like I'm left mixed overall, but the best parts of the movie are the tension building and keeping the shark's time on screen to a limited amount, instead of like outright showing it in its mechanical glory. Because there are definitely some scenes where if you really pay attention, you could see that the shark is mechanical. You could see like the screws on top of the shark and all that. But I think this movie was very ambitious for its time, and it's iconic, hands down.
Good. A wonderful little wrap up. Nick, let's get into the guts of the film.
Definitely terrified a lot of young boys and girls.
And this is interesting to me because the premise of the movie isn't this is what great white sharks are. This is a weird great white shark. Normally they don't do this. Like, the premise of the movie isn't this is sharks. Isn't this weird? This thing, I can't account for this thing. The shark expert is like, this is bizarre. They don't do this. We have theories about like shark violence, about how big they normally are and all of this, but this breaks our theories. And
Right.
it's interesting because it's kind of pointing out
It's-
that this is an abnormal shark.
And it doesn't really go into detail as to why it's so abnormal. It just is. It just is.
Get ready for
But
this tagline. Amity Island had everything. Clear skies, gentle surf, warm water.
Oh,
People
boy.
flocked there every summer. It was the perfect feeding ground. It's a pretty good tagline. I like it.
I like it. Amityville, the world's chum bucket.
This is obviously just a great movie. I feel like this is golden age cinema kind of filming where it is so entertaining. All the characters are so interesting. The actors portraying the characters are so invested in their roles. There's a lot of jokes, there's humor, there's moments of tension, there's moments of grief, there's a lot of love in the movie. It is really refreshing. It opens up the emotional scale, breadth of the film so much, and we don't normally get that. In a lot of horror movies, we always get the cheesy, too good to be true intro, and then it's foiled. But at no point do I feel like anybody actually cared about anybody. In this movie, you feel the family. There's love there. The town is wonderful.
It's all human. It's all grounded in reality. We get moments of a father spending time with his child, with his family, and everything, and we're getting nice little developments and character traits. You know, the main character doesn't like water; he's afraid of water.
That was a nice touch.
Not a big fan of the aquatics, but he that's a really nice touch. Like I said before, I feel like in order to make a really good character, you need to have faults. It can't all be just this, he could do it all. He's a jack of all trades, and he's right for the job. Like, that doesn't, like, in a horror movie, that doesn't bring anything to the table. That doesn't make me feel tense. I want stakes. I want the medium rare. I want it to be, I want there to be something where it grounds me in reality. It makes me fearful for this character, and I want to see him strive to be better, to develop as a person. He goes out in the water and he faces his fears. Yeah.
And it is good. I mean, we see him out on the boat, and he recognizes how ill-equipped he is to handle it with any of this stuff, hunting the shark down, and he starts teaching himself how to tie knots. Like he's trying to kind of get a handle on what it will take to go out there and successfully track this shark down and kill it. It's a wonderful, it is a nice touch. He isn't a perfect character, and he isn't even really all that heroic. Even back in town, it feels like maybe he cares the most, and he is privy to information nobody else is privy to. But ultimately, I guess he does end up saving the day, but it requires him teaming up with all these other people to really get to the bottom of it. You almost get the sense that this sheriff would not have been able to have done much of anything if he didn't meet the shark researcher and the sailor.
I wanted to see if there was like a social commentary message underlying within this movie, and this is a theory, but Jaws might be an environmental parable, a fable about human greed, a document about the death of the small New England town and the New England fisherman, a horror film and a satire or even condemnation about the potential inconveniences of facts.
I don't buy any of that, but those things were in the movie. That feels like doing a lot of work for the movie. But there were elements of the mayor likes money, therefore he doesn't want there to be a shark. Like those were character motivations, but I don't know that this ever rose to the level of a parable. I think that might be reading too much into it. This is a masterpiece, but I don't know that it is.
It's a nice little theory. It's
interesting.
Like I could definitely see it in that light. It's a bit reaching, but this movie was fun. I enjoyed my time revisiting this movie with you, Ryan. I think that it is a classic, cemented in time as a horror movie staple. It is a classic.
Nick, oh my god.
Are you scared of your own hand,
I thought it was
Brian?
a shark for a moment. I'm sorry. Oh.
This just looks like my dick.
It's not very menacing.
I'm sorry. Just
There we go. Ah. Oh my.
it's crazy.
Oh.
Ah!
Yeah, it's Spielberg, man. It's theater. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's good. All of it. Though.
You have no idea how long I've been waiting to use this little prop because I was like, once we cover Jaws, this is coming out. Like I had it still in its box and everything.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
The day has finally
little. It has finally come for a stupid fucking gag.
Well, you made sure to get your money's worth out of it.
I don't know why people put up with me. How would you feel if Hollywood was like, we're gonna remake Jaws?
It's perfectly possible. I wouldn't have any opinions either which way. It depends on who's directing it, if there are talented
Well,
writers
how
on
would
it.
you what would you want from it?
I
first and
would want
foremost?
there to be a reason, right? So not just because people would show up because it's Jaws and people know the name. I would want, yeah, the story. There's nothing really tying it to the time period. There's nothing really like. Can you bring in something about the modern day that would make it more interesting that isn't gimmicky? Can you write a story that's gonna really be interesting for the modern person that also isn't gimmicky? Like not a storyline about teenagers on their cell phones or something like that, but like
I was about to.
like they're
I'm
recording
doing a
the shark
TikTok
attack.
from the water.
Like that's like the lame sci-fi reboot of it. That's just going to be really stupid, and they're just going to be like filming a shark attack and not helping. I don't really want that nonsense. But yeah, if you can actually have an incredibly talented director and an incredibly talented writer, think about ways to make this movie work for a new audience. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that's rarely what happens. Is the issue.
Right.
But no, I mean, I wouldn't stomp my feet at the idea. I would want to know who's working on it though to make sure it would be worthy of this wonderful little flick.
Honestly, I think there would be a lot of outrage. There would be a lot of
There's
outrage.
outrage about
from-
everything. People are fucking lunatics.
Yeah.
Everything makes
yeah.
everyone mad. Everyone's entitled to be mad at the creative decisions that have no.
Oh my god, the,
point.
the whole scream debacle about Nev Campbell not be returning for the next movie. Everybody's like, Nev's not returning. Everybody fucking murder the production, murder everybody that's behind the new Scream movie. Fucking kill them.
Do not do that. Do not do that. There are things in life that are worth more, and we are not entitled to some things. Don't do that.
And even at the end of the day, we got Scream 5, which was kind of like a departure from
Yeah.
these other from the main original cast. It's kind of like passing the torch. We should talk about this later. Anyways, back to Jaws. I don't think that I have necessarily anything else to say about this movie. This movie is amazing. It's got a wonderful soundtrack that kind of like touches my the should definitely not say the child in me, but more of the child side of my heart.
It is. It's playful. The score is
Yeah.
whimsical in moments, and then subversive in others. Like we were talking about with when all of the people started coming in, the tourists. It was a happy song, even though we knew that shouldn't be happy. It's scary. This isn't good. There should be droning tension, and instead they chose this happy song, and I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that choice where they put like second order thinking into play. They were like, we don't want to just jump on what immediately we think could be there. We want to make a creative
would
statement with
love-
the music.
I would love to do like a drive-in, a drive-in special for we watch Jaws, but we're in the water.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Like we're on
community
floating.
pool.
Like
Ideally,
we're-
you do it at the beach.
well, yeah, at the beach with like a big screen kind of like overhanging over the water, and we have to beat in the water. We have to be on floaties.
That'd be great.
You know how terrifying that idea is.
Yeah.
Future Black Lagoon goals here. At the end of the day, Jaws, Bruce exploded in a chum-like mist, and even though that was debunked on MythBusters, the whole shooting the canister and it blows up.
I don't know if Spielberg was going for realism. I think it was just
I don't
a
think
cool
he was
story.
going for realism either. But
thanks, MythBusters.
Yeah, thanks guys for. I escape through horror movies, so I don't have to fucking live in my own self-deprecating hell that I live through constantly. I'm starting to sound like Gilbert Gottfried. May he rest in peace. He's like slowly like possessing me.
Oh. Nick, I think it's time.
Gilbert.
Final cut.
I just want to shit and cum.
Nick, what would you rate? How many out of 10 fins?
I'm going to have to give this an 8.5.
An 8.5? Wow.
I think I had a fun time revisiting this movie. I had a fun time, enjoying all the aquatic carnage that we got. Yeah.
Awesome. Great.
It's fun.
This is the highest rating you've given, I think, since West Timber. Ever. That's your highest rating. So Jaws clocking in at one of your top rated flicks. I gave Audition an 8. I gave Ichi an 8. I gave Alice Sweet Alice an 8.5. All of those movies have such a personality, and they're so fascinating and interesting and energizing. This movie's exactly like those movies. I've got to go 8.5 too.
It's a nice summer flick.
Yeah.
It's just there's something about it that makes you feel like cooking up a hot dog and a cheeseburger and just cracking open a cold beer and sitting down and watching Jaws. Getting spooked the fuck out of. I love it. More movies like this, please. If you guys have any suggestions, please let us know. I think in the future we should definitely play Jaws Unleashed. I think that's a cause for
the reason that game is great is because in the first mission you have to get a key card off of a scientist and you have an inventory. It's just okay. I know what kind of game I'm playing.
I'm just put it in my gills.
Yeah. I'm Jaws and I found the key card. All right. Thank you for watching. This has been a blast. Jaws, great. We want to keep diving into classic horror cinema whenever we can. This is good.
I agree, bitch.
Thanks. Bitch.
Anyways,
if the tier video doesn't come out by the time this does, no one will know what's happening.
It's like I think there's a lot of tension between Brian and Nick.
Here.
Oh yeah, this has been Black Lagoon. As always, stay killer.